Famo, it is Friday, October 11th, 2019. We are the day before Clemson versus Florida State, and this is going to be my preview of what I think can happen tomorrow. Go over some keys to victory, the do's and don'ts, and I'll give a final score prediction, and it shouldn't be too long. But thanks for tuning in. If you are watching me, I appreciate it. Don't forget, man, if you're watching and I don't care if you like it or if you don't like it, man, hit a thumbs up or thumb down. Honestly, hit thumbs up me, man. Comment. And if you really like what I have to offer, man, subscribe to the channel. So we're going to hop in this off the bat. Clemson v. Florida State. Clemson is home. Florida State is a 28-point underdog, and it is a 3 p.m. kickoff. So I think it's a plus that it's not a late night game. The crowd should still be rocking, but those late night games have a different type of atmosphere altogether. So we're gonna go over our keys to victory, and I got 3 keys to victory. First key to victory. The offensive line must be at least average, in my opinion. The O-line needs to be adequate. They're not going to go out there and dominate this Clemson defensive front. But they have to be average. They have to play really like they've played the first couple games of the season. They played poorly in that NC State game. That was Hornibrook got the start. I thought they had their worst performance, run blocking and pass blocking in that game. But so I think we get solid tackle play, solid guard. If we can just get solid play, we don't need All-American type play, even though that would be extremely nice. We're not going to get that. Just can you hold your blocks, man? Can we play a solid football game on the offensive line? If so, I think you give James Blackman time to make some throws. You give Cam Akers some holes that he can run through. Cam's going to usually make that first couple guys miss. As long as he has a chance to get some a head of steam going. If Cam's getting hit in the backfield before he can get anything going, or by the time he touches the ball, he's getting hit. If Blackman don't have time to set his feet and figure out where he wants to go with the football, I think you're going to be in for extremely long afternoon and evening up there in Death Valley. So, yeah, we got to have adequate offensive line play. We need these guys to, just hold your blocks. Offensive line play, you give us a C effort. I take that back. We can get an A effort, obviously. Give us an A effort, but if we can get a C, what am I trying to say here? A effort and a C outcome, I can live with that. I think the team can live with that because I think there's some points to be put on the board if we can get at least, average game offensive line play out of our guys. The starters, to my knowledge, on the O-line, as of right now, I haven't heard anything different. If anybody has any information, feel free to comment it and correct me. Right tackle, Roberts. Right guard, most likely will be does Lucas play? I think Lucas plays right guard. Center is Bavion. The left guard is could be Minshew. I don't think Minshew's gonna start. But is it Bell that we have at the other guard? I always forget that guy's name. Let me do a quick check real quick. Depth chart, FSU. I want to say is it Bell? Brady Scott. I don't know why I was gonna say Bell. Brady Scott, left guard, and left tackle would be Bello. Juwan should get snaps. From what I'm seeing at, yeah, Lucas. Then they got Arnold at right guard. I think you could see Cole Minshew in this game. Whether it might even be at left. But I really think you might see Cole Minshew in this game. But, man, if we can just get some solid offensive line play from those guys and the backups, I think, I think there's some success to be had. The second key to victory, no mental mistakes, right? And I'm not even talking about even this falls in the category, but I'm not even necessarily talking about like turnovers. Sometimes turnovers happen. I can live with the turnover if the decision making was right. Just maybe a bad pass or something of that nature. When I say no mental mistakes, on a 3rd and 2, can we have not 5 people lined up in the backfield and get an illegal illegal formation called on us? No false starts. You're going to be in depth. I just mentioned that offensive line. Well, that crowd's going to be, loud up there in Death Valley. Be disciplined. No false starts, man. No bad snaps. Don't snap the ball over the quarterbacks. Those are the things those are the mental mistakes. No pass interference, offside. Just can we clean the penalties up and keep the penalty? If we can keep the penalties to the minimum, we give our team a chance to stay in that ball game. I think that is critical to trying to pull off an upset of this magnitude on the road. No mental mistakes. If you beat yourself, you're not gonna beat this team. This team's good enough to beat you on their own. You don't need to beat yourself to compound, what could be a long evening there in Death Valley. No mental mistakes, man. Make sure you're lined up where you're supposed to be lined up. Those type of things. Receivers, quarterbacks, get on the same page. Don't, I would think at this point in the season, some of that stuff with the route running probably should be cleaned up. We've had some issues where Terry going one way and the receiver and he's maybe supposed to go another way and the quarterback throws it where he's supposed to be and he's not even in the vicinity. So let's not have any of those mental errors. Like the mental mistakes will kill you. No mental mistakes. And the last, and to me, the most important key to victory, in my opinion, don't leave plays on the field. This is not a game where we can miss throw. Like we saw that in the Virginia game, right? We left plays on the field, we end up losing that game. If we make those plays, if you don't overthrow Blackman down the sideline, he walks in the end zone for a touchdown. If you don't throw the ball behind McKitty for the first down, maybe we can win that game. No leaving plays on the field. That goes to Blackman. I said in my like an offense little preview or whatever, I didn't have a problem with Black getting the start. I wouldn't have had a problem with Hornibrook getting the start. I feel like Hornibrook does a good job at really taking what that defense is going to give him. But I think Black can make the plays. He can stretch the field. He can get the ball maybe in positions that I don't know if Hornibrook can. Now, with that comes the negative. Black cannot miss you. If we want to win the game, like a lot of people just want us to be competitive. I wouldn't mind we need to be competitive, but I want us to win the game. If we're to win the game, no, we can't have no overthrows on a wide receiver that's wide open down the field. You can't have that. You can't have any drops. Receivers, catch the ball before you run. That's the most important part of being a receiver. Isn't the yak yards, it's catching the ball. That's a big deal, in my opinion. Defensively, make the plays. Make tackles when you have a chance to make a tackle. I know it's easier said than done, but man, when you got a guy in the backfield, make that tackle. That's the difference between, 2nd and 15, and all of a sudden, you didn't make the tackle. He's able to scoop for 4 or 5 yards, and it's 2nd and 8 or 7. Like, you got to make tackles. In that NC State game, we dropped 5 or 6 interceptions. If we get those opportunities against the University of Clemson, you have to make those interceptions. Again, catch the ball before you try to run with it. The biggest deal is to just get the ball. Then maybe you can make a play after it. That's the biggest thing for me, just from what I've seen from this team this far this season. Do not leave plays on the field. Hell, the reason why we lost, there's a lot of reasons maybe you can point to the Boise game, but we left a fumble on the field with two seniors were right there, and D-Jack and Levante Taylor. The football was, here's the football, and they were doing this and they left plays on the field. If you recover that fumble, you probably run. I don't exactly remember, but I know it was in the fourth quarter, and I don't remember how much time was left. But you never know what you recover that fumble, you burn more time, and they have to go more time to get on. You know what I'm saying? We got to make plays when they're there, recover fumbles. Don't try to pick the ball up and be a hero, man. Fall on the football, just get the ball back. Do not leave plays on the field. You leave plays on the field, the upset, you're not going to get the upset, right? It's just not going to happen. So yeah, those are the three keys to victory. Let's go over the depth chart real quick because there's some key things that I like to point out. And offensively, we're pretty solid. Nothing's really changed offensively as far as who's starting. Nothing's really changed. Again, Juwan Williams is listed as the backup to Bello. So that is to note that he is healthy enough to play. It doesn't look like he will start. We'll see how they rotate those two guys. Cole Minshew, who also practiced this week, is not listed on the depth chart, not even as a player 3. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe we see him in the rotation. I'm looking. Anthony Grant is listed as the third back. He hasn't played at all this season. Coach has said he's been dealing with some personal family issues. So we'll definitely see how that, goes. Defensively, that was where I really want to talk about what we got going on here. They have Janoris Robin listed as the starter. However, we know he is not going to be the starter because he's suspended for the first half of this game. That's a big blow because he's been playing extremely well for us, and he's really been coming into his own as a redshirt junior. His backup is Adonis Thomas. I don't know if I hope we really don't see Adonis in this game. If going off of this, maybe Adonis might get the start. But I really think, man, you got to, put McCray out there maybe and try him on the edge or try some other guys, man, out there. We got some other, freshmen that you might be able to put out there. It sucks that Kando gets hurt because we're too down on that position. And Adonis Thomas, I'll be honest with you, that's just not a guy that I want to see out there. Maybe as rushing, he can, if you limit to what he's doing and it's strictly rushing the passer, maybe he can be somewhat effective. I don't expect any effectiveness out of that. So that's definitely something to look forward to. I hate to see. Again, it was a bogus ejection on Janoris Robinson. If you go back and watch that play, there was no lunge. There was no helmet-to-helmet contact. He hit a 6'6" DN, hit a 6-foot quarterback, square center in the middle, and they called the targeting because the hit was so violent and the man's head did all of that. Whatever. You might get a situation. They have Warner listed as the Sam, Emmett Rice as the Mike, which I like to see. You might get a situation where maybe you start the freshman Jaleel McCray at the Sam and put Leonard Warner back on that other edge since he has experience playing it this year. I'll think that Levitt will figure that out because, as I had a video earlier this week, I think Jim Levitt's calling most of the shots anyway on defense. I have faith that Levitt will figure that out, and we'll see how we go from there. As I look down, corners haven't changed. It's interesting that Levante Taylor will not start. Cyrus Fagan and Nasruddin will start at the safety positions. Again, this is another thing you could do. Put Nasruddin down there in that same position, or there's some things we can do. Ronaldo Green is still listed as the backup to Asante Samuel, and there's a lot of, look at this depth chart, man. It's really amazing. There's a lot of freshmen and sophomores, offensively and defensively. There really are. Special teams, nothing's really much changed. Logan Tyler Coach Taggart officially said that he is off the team, so we will never see Logan Tyler. So Tommy Martin is the punter. Aguayo is still the kicker. I remember Coach Taggart said there would be some competition at that position. It looks like they're going to stick it out with Aguayo. We'll see. If that game comes down to that and Aguayo misses a kick, it might be the last you see of him. I can't necessarily blame Coach Taggart for going with Ricky. He's made some big kicks. Do you want to get rid of a guy like that and then go with the unproven? So I get that. And Keyshawn is back there receiving punts. Gavin and Sheffield. Oh no, Gavin and Helton are receiving kick returns. And so yeah, we know Lars Woodbay, Kando, they're out for the year. We know Janaris will miss the first half of this game. We really, we need some consistency from Black. Black, don't leave plays on the field. Cam, after that Boise game, he hasn't fumbled the ball. And I was real critical of Cam in that Boise thing. I'm like, you're too talented to be fumbling the ball. And he's had fumbling problems. He had them last year. He hasn't fumbled the ball since. That's big. Continue to hold on to that football, man. Defensively, let's keep that run defense top notch. And that's my keys to victory. That's a little preview of the depth chart. Let's talk about my prediction for the game. They're going on 18 minutes now. My prediction for the game. My score. Let me put it to you like this. This game, in my opinion, is there's only two outcomes to this game. 45-14. Like, seriously. We will either get blown out, this is my opinion, or we are going to win a game in a shootout. I'll be honest with you, I do not see us holding Clemson to 21 points like North Carolina did, even if I think our defense is better than theirs. I've watched enough of this team to know there's just lapses in judgment, and they'll just give up a play. I just hate to be the bearer of bad news or Mr. Negative. That defense is just going to give up a play. So I do not see a situation where it's 14-14 or 21-14 going into the fourth quarter with us a chance to win this game. We either get our doors blown off, or we're in the game in the fourth quarter 28-31, a game like that. And that's kind of tough. I'd be shocked if we were able to hold this team. To be fair, Clemson has not looked extremely great, but they haven't really played. Is Texas A&M better than Florida State? That's I think that's up for a debate. I think that was Clemson's best game so far this year, and that was in Death Valley in a similar type. I don't know if it was a noon game for that. I think that might have been a noon game for that game, or it was a 3:00 game. So it was similar. So my prediction, I'm gonna go with the score. So I'm just being real with you. This is the Florida State channel. I'm Polk County Noel. I'm picking Florida State. We're gonna shock the football world. We're going 4-2. We're gonna shock the world. Willie Taggart's gonna have his marquee victory of his tenure today, and this will be the game, tomorrow, and this will be the game that turns everything around and we take off from here. I'm not going to say we're going to win the rest of these games, but this will be the game Coach Taggart arrives and makes a statement. With that said, the score for this game, Florida State Florida State 37, Clemson 31. That's what I'm going with. No. Yeah, Florida State 37, Clemson 31. That's what I'm rocking with. That's my prediction. You know, if you like it, I love it. If you don't like it, I don't give a damn. Go Noles. This was my preview and predictions for this game and my keys to victory. See you guys tomorrow, maybe, or Sunday with the review of the game, where I'll either be sitting here saying I told y'all, or I'll be sitting here crying with my 1738 or my Hennessy Pure White, mad, pissed off. Go Noles, man. Have a great day.